Funding for Shaperless is provided by
Surfshark VPN, the sponsor of today's video. Elemental has had what is possibly the weirdest build-up to release for any Pixar movie. I guess aside from Turning Red. Like, yeah, I thought it looked generic from the trailers too, but I'm nonetheless shocked at how bizarrely vitriolic the backlash has been to this one. Pixar has made generic movies before, this one isn't special in that regard. However, everyone just kinda judged this movie based on the premise alone and talked as if they had already seen it and not liked it. Well, the joke's on you guys. I actually saw it and didn't like it. I don't know, it was fine when I first walked out of the theater, but the more my girlfriend and I talked about it on the drive home, the less any of it made sense and the less I liked it. I mean, it has good stuff. The score was pretty fire. Yeah, that's an elemental pun. Deal with it. The animation was very good. Like, you know, complimenting a modern Pixar movie for its animation isn't really saying much on its own. But like, specifically, I was really impressed with how the fire people looked. They had some cool character designs. I liked that. It was a pretty movie, I guess. The main characters were fine. In general, it was fine. It was watchable. I didn't hate it. Compared to something like Lightyear, which is just a corporate dumpster fire that I should not have rated as highly as I did, this one clearly came from a place of passion. It was made in earnest, and I can respect that. But yeah, for the most part, I wasn't really feeling this one. Essentially, there are two threads here. That being the fire-water love story. Ooh, wow, how groundbreaking, that's crazy. And then there's the story about an immigrant family of fire people trying to make a new home in Element City. Let's talk about the romance first. It's okay. The two leads are fine, but I never really felt much chemistry between them. Yeah, that's another elemental pun. Deal with it again. But yeah, I don't think they ever have a conversation where they really connect over anything. The pacing is good for their relationship. They really take their time before they start to fall in love. I just don't think the actual falling in love part was that convincing. They seemed more like very good friends. Yes, I'm dead serious. And that's not even taking into account the whole fire and water mixing angle, which in itself is really corny and also a bit illogical. Like, what, they're the first mixed element couple in existence? No other fire and water people have ever touched before, even by accident? They really didn't know what was gonna happen? Then there's the immigrant story, which, like, the core of it is clearly genuine and rooted in the director's own experiences, and it's nice that he gets to tell a version of that story. But on the other hand, when are we gonna stop using non-human characters for human race allegories? The movie absolutely did not need that element. Haha, get it? Element pun again. I assure you, this is less element puns than the movie has. Anyway, yeah, it didn't need that element because it makes for so many confusing and uncomfortable moments. Like, there are some terms like fireball and cloud puff being hurled as insults in this movie. And it's like, are those racial slurs in this universe? What's going on? What was the pruning joke about? What's the real world equivalent to that? These are questions the movie makes me think about because it constantly tries to connect the fire people's experience to real world racism. The fire dad is also constantly racist against water people and talking about how much he doesn't trust them. And it's like, water people seem to be the privileged ones in this society, so I guess that's fine. Except, where does that leave the wind and earth people? They don't seem discriminated against at all. The movie only goes out of its way to show that fire people are treated poorly. So what do the wind and earth people represent? And why are they even in the movie? They don't matter to the story, like, at all. If it was just fire and water people, the metaphor would still be flawed, but it would at least be a lot clearer. As is, this has gotta be one of the most confused metaphors I've ever seen in a movie. And not only does this not work as a race allegory, it doesn't work in terms of its world building either. Everything just sort of functions like it does in human society. Like, they have regular trains and pipes for water to flow through. Wouldn't a city based around element people be a little more unique and less human-like? Fire Girl says the city wasn't built with fire people in mind, but like, shouldn't more of the city feel tailored around water people since they founded it? Like, shouldn't there be transport pipes for them instead of just trains? I don't know, maybe there was some in the background that I didn't notice, who knows. Also, the entire third act kinda fell apart for me. Spoilers, I guess, if you're interested in seeing this for some reason, I don't know. So, the main conflict hinges around Fire Girl and Water Boy fixing the dam so water doesn't leak out and flood Fire Girl Dad's store. So she fixes it with tempered glass, and the Cloud Lady who's in charge is like, yep, that looks good to me, we're good to go. So you assume that conflict is over since it served its purpose of giving the two leads something to do as they got to know each other. But then, oh no, looks like the glass is gonna break, and I just kind of rolled my eyes because it was such a lazy way to force a third act climax. Cloud Lady said it was fine. They had workmen test it out with a hammer and stuff, but I don't know, it's gotta break because we gotta have a stupid climax. The third act can't just be about the characters working out their differences and solving the dad's racism. Speaking of which, he never gets over that. We never have a scene where he's like, okay, Water Boy, I misjudged you. You can date my daughter. He's just inexplicably cool with it at the end, even though not being cool with it was such a huge facet of his character throughout the entire movie. What happened? Again, I'm not upset that he doesn't like the privileged water people. It's just, he just forgets that he doesn't like them at the end. Did I miss that scene? Am I going insane? What is this movie? Then there's all the usual cliches like, oh, you're not my daughter. You lied about breaking the pipes. You're not getting the shop. Oh, Water Boy, I don't love you because society and I gotta do what my dad says and we're breaking up for real and we're not getting back together later. Definitely not. Do not keep watching the movie. It does not happen. And then during the stupid action climax, Water Boy dies because it's hot and he's evaporating. Even though this was never set up beforehand as a thing that could happen, so it kind of comes out of nowhere, and also the scene is extremely quick, and the whole time you're just waiting for him to inevitably be revived. There's no tension. It didn't make me feel anything. It was nice when Fire Dad told Fire Daughter that she was his real dream the whole time, but other than that, the climax was entirely dramatically inert, which is shocking because this is a Pixar movie? It's like the one thing they know how to do. But man, it just did not land here. Ultimately, I don't hate this movie or anything. It had heart, it had good intentions, it was paced pretty well, and it had plenty of fleeting moments I enjoyed. But I'd be lying if I said I'm gonna remember anything about it in a week. Anyway, if people try and guilt you into watching this movie just for the sake of supporting original Pixar films so we don't get Toy Story 12 or whatever, don't feel pressured to see it. It isn't great. Though, if you do want to see it to pump up its box office numbers and encourage more original work that is good, that's totally valid. Or if you just think it looks good in general. Don't let the mob mentality against this film, or me not liking it, discourage you from watching and enjoying it. I almost feel bad for not really liking it that much, because again, it didn't really feel corporate or anything. There is a genuine humanity behind this movie. I just wish it got to tell its potentially compelling immigrant story with human characters, instead of, ironically, watering it down by making it about fire people. Yeah, I don't know. I came out of the theater thinking it was a solid 6 out of 10, but the more I thought about it, the worse it got in my mind. 5 out of 10. Again, see it if you want to, don't see it if you don't want to. That's all there is to it. The upshort was cute. The end. I'm just surprised there were no animals in this movie. Like during the scene where all the water guys were doing the wave, there should have been a shark or something surfing that wave. You know what I mean? It's Surfshark VPN. The punchline is Surfshark VPN. With Surfshark, you can trick your browser into thinking you're in another country, thus allowing you to access exclusive Netflix or Disney Plus content you couldn't get otherwise. That way you can watch all those juicy Earthtown shows. Wait, did Earth people even have any culture or anything in this movie? Like, I don't think so. Oh well, anything exclusive to Earthtown is now yours thanks to Surfshark VPN. Plus, you can use its Surfshark alert system to get alerts anytime your email address or password is compromised. Surfshark Alert scans various databases of leaked information and notifies its users if their data is found so they can take action, which is an absolutely invaluable feature. Surfshark is also totally unlimited, meaning you can use it on as many devices as you like, even all at the same time. No other VPN allows this. Go to surfshark.deal/Rillis and enter promo code RILLIS to get 83% off and 3 extra months of Surfshark VPN for free. It's an amazing deal, and it's even better because it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you're not satisfied, you can cancel during those 30 days and get your money back. If you're looking for a great VPN, there's no reason not to give Surfshark a try. Once again, head to surfshark.deal/Rillis and enter the promo code RILLIS. Have a great time with Surfshark VPN.